There we are. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Haunted Connections.
Caught you napping, didn't it?
Yeah, I was just trying to get a cushion behind my back. So we're bringing this to you from the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre, which is now called the Paranormal Research Centre, and I still keep forgetting.
Yeah, well, we might have gone back to what the old call.
So we're tuning in again for a chat with you all, and today we're going to chat more about updates for the Parameet, because there's been a few changes. Things are moving really quite quickly, and there has been a few changes, so we thought we'd give you a bit more of an update, because it's soon going to come round, isn't it? The weeks are whizzing by.
Scary. The first one is less than 6 months away.
Yes, and that's in the south. That's Parameet in the south, but we do have a change for Parameet in the north.
Yes,
and I'll let Neil explain all that to you.
Yeah, the location that we announced last week. The next day, last Wednesday, they messaged me and said that we couldn't have that date. So let me get you in. So they said we couldn't have the date. So they gave me another date. So I said, yeah, that'll do. But then they turned around and said, well, we've got another paranormal convention 2 or 3 weeks later. So it's not fair. I don't know who's doing that convention. So it says we can either have it in July or January. I said, oh, let's forget it. So we're not going to Lumley Castle. We are actually going to King's Croft Hotel, which is in Pontefract, which has just been, I just had the contract today. So it's a bit nearer. It's the same date. I've got it written down. I forgot my diary. I'll phone Julia. The north is still the 19th to the 20th of October, but it's now at King's Croft Hotel in Pontefract. And we're also going to announce the Midlands tonight, aren't we?
We are.
So let's go through them all. So the 13th to the 14th of April is Parameet South, which is at Lee Park Hotel. You can now book tickets for that one online.
Fab.
So please get booking. The Midlands is the 29th and 30th of June, which is at Sketchy Grange Hotel in Hinckley. We could actually walk there.
We could, but I'm not going to.
I think we are all going to stay over because it's a fantastic, and it's a spa and all sorts of swimming pools and all sorts.
So bring your coggy, and there is spa facilities there. So,
and the 19th to 20th of October is Parameet North, which is King's Croft Hotel in Pontefract. Of course, Pontefract is famous for 30 East Drive.
Yeah.
So they're the 3 locations for Parameet next year. We are very excited about them all. Each one is going to be slightly different. So shall we go tell them what's happening at each one again?
Yeah, let's go through each venue. We'll describe the venue and we'll sort of say roughly what's going to happen.
Okay, Parameet South is obviously we've got the vendors as normal, and we've got the speakers. We will have 12 speakers per event, so that's going to be good. And on the evening at the Parameet South, we are going to do.
We're going to have a bit of a pub quiz. This is on the Friday night, so we're going to have a bit of a pub quiz. And
I thought that's Saturday night.
Was it? I thought it was
Saturday night.
Oh, that's Saturday night. Yeah. So it'll just be a social night on the Friday, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yep. And then on the Saturday night, we're going to have a bit of a pub quiz and a bit of a fundraiser, and we're going to work with Wheelie Jane for that. Wheelie Haunted.
We're going to raise some money.
Jane Mortimer. So we're going to work with her with that. So we're going to raise some funds and donate some money to a charity of her choice.
It just come up. Reminder: be ready to start the live feed. We've been doing it 10 minutes. So that's the Parameet South. So it's the paranormal charity quiz.
Yeah. So the room setup. What's the room setup for the Parameet South?
I don't know. We're just going to have lots of tables and.
Is it one big room or is it several?
We've got a few rooms.
Right. So we've got a few rooms. So that'll be.
Yeah. So
it's just going to be fun.
I am going to send Jane and Julie to go and visit them all. You and Julie have been to Sketchley.
Yeah.
So Jane and Julie are going to go and see the other two before the event anyway. So that's the Parameet South. Parameet Midlands, we've got about 5 rooms there, haven't we?
Yeah, it's like a self-contained area really, and you sort of walk in and there's a corridor, and at the end of the corridor there's a very big room which is enough to hold 180 people, around 18 people around. No,
18 tables of 10.
Yes, I was thinking it was the other way around.
You got the wrong teeth in tonight.
Got the wrong brain in. So that's quite a big room. So the awards is going to be held. The GPN awards is going to be held in that room as well. We're going to have a few stalls around the back, around the outside. There's also going to be there's a second larger room which will be full of stalls, and there's another third smaller room which will be have stalls and vendors in as well. So there's tarot readers. There's going to be all sorts of stalls as well. We're going to try our best not to duplicate things that are being sold, so you get the best shopping experience that you can.
Yeah.
There, and there's also a big bar area, isn't there?
Yeah, at each location there's an area where people can just sit and natter.
Yeah, because that's been quite important to us. That was some of the feedback that came back from Brownsover Hall. So although it was a fantastic place, people were struggling to sort of sit together and talk. It was the 2 areas were really very small. The bar area was very small, only had sort of 2 tables in, and the other area which seemed where people congregate was sort of under the stairs where the piano was, and there was only sort of 2 little tables there. And it's very obvious that people want to sit and chat and just catch up with friends and just share information, isn't it?
Yeah. So Anne says, our bar area have officially sold it to me. Karen says, did you pick anything up at Sketchley Grange, Jane?
Yes, I did. There's 2 haunted rooms in Sketchley Grange. It used to be part of the old house, and it used to be 1 big bedroom, but now they've split it into 2. So there's 2 sort of haunted rooms, and they are going. Although I was sitting there and I was, while I was in the meeting with Julie, I didn't really.
Oh God, that's a bit too bright. Sorry.
While I was sitting there with Julie, I didn't really. I was more interested in the meeting than what was going on around me. But she did say that we can go back, so I'm going to make an appointment with her because there was already residents in the room. We need to go back. We're going to make an appointment and go into the room and see what we can pick up. But it's a very interesting place. There is a very old house there on the site. Although when you drive in, it looks fairly modern. It has been sort of built on around the old original house that was there. Yeah,
and the Parameet North, which is 19th of October, King's Croft Hotel in Pontefract. In that one, it's quite pricey. So we've only got 1 big room, but there's other bar areas where people can talk. But the big room is big enough to hold 400 people in theatre style. So it's a huge room.
Yeah.
So Parameet North is basically going to be the speakers and the vendors are going to be in 1 big room. So that would be nice.
It should be very exciting.
So it'd be different again. And then in the evening at that one, it's just sitting around having a chat and having a drink if you drink and talking.
But that's the plan so far. But if we come up with any weird and wonderful harebrained ideas to keep you entertained on those,
no doubt we
will share with you. But things are there's a lot of ideas in the pipeline, but we just want to make sure we can make it happen before we announce or any of that.
Haunting Happenings guys will be doing the ghost hunts again in the daytime, both days, all 3. So that's exciting. So it's all good. So the South and Midlands are on the website now to book your tickets. This week I'll put Parameet North on the website so you can book the tickets. If you're interested in being a vendor at any, please apply. There's on the website. There's a section for vendors to apply because, like Jane says, we don't want too many people sending the same stuff. So you've got to apply, and then once we sort of say yes, that's fine. We'll give you a code so you can actually pay for your table at each whatever event you want to do. Of course, when Parameet North is on, if you want to go to all three, there's an early bird ticket for only £50.
That's a bargain, really.
It's a bargain for all three. All the speakers are included in the prices. The only thing you have to pay extra for, off the top of my head, is the GPM Parameet Awards.
Yeah.
Which is £35 a ticket, but you get a 2-course meal and you get a live band after the awards. But it's a posh do, so I've got to get some shoes. I've got shoes actually for Lucy's wedding, but I'm going to have to try and spit on them, buff them up a bit. Indra says, I'll only go if Yorkshire Gold Tea on. I'm sure we can arrange that. So yeah, that's the Parameet. It's all very exciting. I will be giving details about the booking the bedrooms on very soon as well. No, I think that's Parameet.
Did we get did they confirm the password for Sketchy Grange?
Yes. Yes, we'll announce that on the website. So that's all very exciting. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be stressful leading up to it. It always is. But please book your tickets. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, because we can't do it without you guys.
If you want to come to the GPM Parameet Awards, it is, like I said, it is a posh do, so you got to wear
evening dress.
So I've already been told I can't wear my trainers or my jogging bottoms. So yeah, and also, that's Biff. Indrid Cold is Biff. And also, if you want to do your nominations for the awards, that form is actually on the website now. The main Horse Research Centre website. So please make your nominations now.
Cool.
Biff says he doesn't own an address. I thank God for that, Biff.
No, don't put that image in me.
That's brought the whole conversation down straight away. Yeah, they are. Are you looking forward to them, Jane?
Yeah, I am. I love the Parameet anyway. I love what it stands for, and I just love lots of people coming together and sharing in the event.
Okay, so that's the Parameet sorted. Next year, because we've had quite a few teams either not turn up for booking the last 2 years, some have just not turned up. Amy sat up here waiting for the team to arrive and they didn't arrive. That's happened quite a few times, which is damned annoying. Or they just pay the deposit and then don't pay the rest. I see Barry's.
Yeah.
Barry put. Barry Guy said, "Hi Barry. What are the awards? The awards, Barry. These are, as you probably know, or perhaps you don't know, we do have our own TV channel, which is on Roku TV, and it's also on all mobile devices now. So we have our own TV channel. So half the awards are in recognition to the video creators who put their content on GPN, Ghost Planet Network. So that's half the awards. The other half of the awards are open to others. For example, we're going to have the top events company or the top podcast or the top YouTube channel, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
We're also going to have a bit of our own award.
We are going to do a special award. The last award is not to be voted on. It's just an award that we're going to give out every year, and I've called it the Paranormal Community Award.
Yes.
So that will go out to the person or the persons that we think has done a lot to the community.
They've contributed a lot to the paranormal field.
So all the awards, apart from the last one, are voted on. You nominate there's about 13 or 14 categories, and you nominate the team or the person you think deserves to be recognized. And then once the nominations are finished, I will add them all up, and the top 3 or 4 from each category go through to the final, and then you vote on them. So the ones with the highest number of votes wins. It will be genuine. Then the only sticking point in my eyes is because we have our shows on GPN. I don't want people to think, "Oh, we fixed it to win."
We're not. We don't know.
We won't do that. Obviously, no. I want to win, but it's not winning.
It's going to be down to people's voting. So that's and you will learn more of that as it sort of unfolds nearer the time.
Yeah. So that's the award. That's the awards, Barry. The speakers for all 3 Parameets, we're going to have 12 speakers at each event. So we've already got a few sort of booked in to talk. We will announce them as and when we go along. Now we've got all 3 locations and dates actually confirmed. I will start contacting people who we would like to do some speaking at the events.
Yeah.
Let me just get rid of
a lot of people have already previously spoken will be invited back. So there will be some of our usual friendly faces coming back to talk.
Yeah, we'll have some usual the usual weirdos.
and we will have some new speakers.
But we'll have some new ones. Lynn says, "I'm free to speak, Neil." Okay, thanks, Lynn. We will put you on the possible, if that's okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be fab.
And yes, we will have Parameet t-shirts. Mark says, "Very pleased you're doing this next year." Thanks, Mark. We don't do things by half, do we?
Yeah.
I always say before we start, I'm not doing another one, but once
you said that this year, and now we're doing 3 next year.
But then I go to bed and my brain starts working overtime. Lorianne says, "Don't forget my list of highly recommended weirdos." That's good. I will get you to do one year, Lorianne. So I'm going to keep every year. I will ask you. One year you're going to say yes. So yeah, it's all good fun.
Yeah, make it next year, Lorian. Come and speak at the Sketchy Grange local.
We'll see. Yeah, but Lauren, now they're all confirmed. You can contact the guy who might be up to talking. We won't mention anyone's names. Emily says, "I hope to attend the Hinkley Parameet and also the one up north, as will be great to meet team from further away." Yes, that's one of the reasons we did it. That's why we're doing 3. Obviously, Jane from Wheelie Haunted is contacting all 3 locations anonymously because they're all supposed to be wheelchair friendly, but Browns-Over Hall is supposed to be wheelchair friendly, but as it turned out, it really wasn't. So Jane will sort of mark them whether yes, it's completely wheelchair friendly. So we'll have that information as well because she knows more about what questions to ask than we do. So yeah, anything else about the Parameet? I can't think of anything.
No, I think as time goes on and more things get cemented, we we can start, we can then announce things, because once we get confirmation from speakers, we can then start announcing speakers.
Yes.
And I think it's just going to be a nice mix again of speakers. We are going to have some different speakers in the south and in the north and in the Midlands. So it's going to be a nice mix.
Jane is actually doing a talk at all three, yeah.
Yes, I'm going to drive you mad with my nonsense.
Alistair said, as the north changed, yeah, unfortunately it's changed because Lumley Castle messed me about a bit, unfortunately, and they said we couldn't do it. So it is now the King's Croft Hotel in Pontefract, which is not as far up north.
Yeah, you'd think a hotel like that would actually check its appointments, check what's going on there before they actually send out a confirmation. That's I think that's the disappointing part. They'd already confirmed it, and we were already all set to go, and then they contacted us to say, "Oops, sorry, we've double booked."
But it could have been worse. We could have sold tickets and actually turned up on the day
and had stuff printed
and said, no, can't do it. Anyway, the next bit we want to talk about tonight is, like I started before I changed the subject again, we have been let down by a few paranormal teams in the last 2 years. The vast majority are fantastic, have been fantastic. But next year we're going to do more of our own events. Obviously, there will be some dates for teams to book in. We are going to do our own Ghost Hunt Experience Night, because we've been doing them this year and they've been really, really successful. Teenage events are going to carry on next year because I've oversold this weekend's one.
They're popular, aren't they?
They are so popular, and which is good.
Kids love it.
We are going to start doing terrifying candlelit tours. So people can come who perhaps aren't interested in ghost hunting and things like that, but they like to be scared, so they will be scared on these candlelit tours. That's all I say. So we're doing it, and we're going to bring back the seances, because we used to love the seances, didn't we?
Yeah.
But obviously there are some dates still available, teams to book, but there'll be certain conditions put in place to cover my own back, to be honest, because we are a business and I have to pay the rent.
And sometimes people do take advantage of Neil and Julie's good nature. And when Neil gives his word and, he trusts people sometimes take advantage of that trust, and they don't then come up with the money, or they just don't turn up, and it's just not fair. The
most annoying thing is when they don't turn up, because we sit up here. Well, it was Amy the last 2 times, I think. They sit up here waiting for them, and they don't message me or anything. Yeah. And then when I message them, I get nothing back. So, but hey, that's the way it is, isn't it?
I don't know if most people know, but although it's Neil's business and the team do help out a lot, we are all volunteers. We give up our own time to come up and work in the centre and to help people out in their paranormal experiences and stuff like that. So when we give up an evening to come up here and to look after teams and stuff, it's not fair when people just don't turn up and just don't even let us know they're not coming.
That's right, because we like doing stuff as well. And since we were open, we've not done enough of our own stuff.
Well, I think since COVID, really, hasn't it?
Since COVID.
Since probably for the last, year or so, we've been, the teams have sort of been a priority, really, because obviously the centre needs the income. But when people don't turn up and we then, we're sitting here till 9, 10 o'clock at night, then it's too late for us to do anything for ourselves. So it's only really common courtesy, just a matter of decency, to just let people know that you're not coming. Or if that's the case, just don't book it if you're not going to turn up. It's just simple as that, isn't it? Because that leaves the centre free every night. We can either do something ourselves, or we can do one of the nights for the centre.
Yeah. But like I say, please don't get me wrong. The vast majority of teams have been and are fantastic, and we've made some really good friends over the 5 years, 5.5 years now we've been open.
Yeah. And teams that don't turn up are going to get banned. You're just not going to be invited. You just won't be allowed to come back. So, because it's just not fair.
No. Evening, guys. Looking at booking. That's good for a tour. Okay. Also, while we're on about events, we are keeping every single Sunday free. We're not having teams in on Sundays. The main reason is we've got so much to do ourselves. So I thought if we have Sundays for ourselves, whether doing the Demon Connections or Paranormal Blackout or Haunted or not, there's other things that we want to do to film to put on GPN as well. So every Sunday, no teams won't be allowed to book on a Sunday next year, because that's going to be our night to do something, because that's the night.
Yeah, and we're
all free.
We've still got to maintain doing that content for GPN, haven't we?
Yes, we need the content for GPN, otherwise I can't let that slip. So that's that. So if anyone's got any questions, please put them in. Biff says, must book an event. There's an experiment I've been wanting to do for ages.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Ooh.
So also something I put on Facebook today. Facebook still does my head in, I put on today, because GPN is subscription free. Obviously, I need adverts, or I need something to pay for it, basically. So I put on today that if any events teams or any teams who want to promote an event that they're doing, they can do. Because I've worked out a way now of doing it where it's not going to stay on there all the time. When the event's sold out or it's over, I can take it off without taking off the video. I can do that now. I've been looking into how to do it, so I can do it. So,
have you been doing your own work?
I have. Scary, I know. Never used to do own work at school. So, if any, primarily events companies, I think, if you got an event coming up and you'd like to promote it on Ghost Planet Network, it's going to cost you £10 per event. And there are all the events. I'm hoping to get quite a few in, obviously, because we're reaching 20,000 people views every week now. It's probably going up more. So you've got a lot of potential guests there. Gary says Neil's getting all technical. Yeah, it's scary stuff. So if you've got an event for this year or next year, all the events will be in date order. So if people if they want to do a ghost hunt next Saturday, for example, they can go on GPN and say, oh, such and such are there, such and such are there. We'll contact them. Biff said, you sure you didn't lean over and copy someone else's homework, Neil? Okay, it might have been YouTube. Hey. But I can do it. So that is potential. So or if you organize something else and you want to promote it on GPN, we can do it. I don't, whatever event you do, I don't, as long as it's paranormal, it's fine. Whether you want to promote a live feed or.
Yeah, I mean, 20,000 people is quite an audience, isn't it? To advertise to.
So, or if you got a special podcast coming up, or anything to do with paranormal, and you want to promote your event, if you do a paranormal conference like the Parameet, and you want to promote it, you can, as long as it's legal and paranormal. You can promote it on GPN, and it'll cost you £10 per event.
Yeah, that's good.
So, I think that's a good price.
I mean, £10 to try to reach out to 20,000 people. That's not bad at all.
That's good, isn't it? So hopefully you will, if you're an events company, Siobhan, I think that's how you pronounce it. My name is Siobhan, and I'm here for the first time. Well, thanks for tuning in. We just ramble on about the paranormal, really. If you got any questions, fire away. If you got any questions about the Parameets, ask, or GPN.
Or the centre itself.
Yeah, Biff says, and the meet isn't in Durham. No, it's not. It's in Pontefract now, Biff. And where's that name come from? An Indrid Cold. I don't get that one. So yeah, the Parameet North isn't in Durham. It never was. Well, it was last week. It's changed to Pontefract now. Siobhan says, have you ever been levitated by a demon? No.
No, we've had a conversation with quite a few, but we've not. I can't say that they've done that to us. We might need some strong levitation skills to get me off the ground.
We actually do a series called The Demon Connections on Ghost Planet Network, Siobhan. It's fascinating. Even if I say so myself, it's the best thing I've ever seen, paranormal wise. Yeah. I'm not just saying that because we do it. If you watch the Demon Connections and you're expecting the normal sort of demonic stuff,
scare factor,
you're not going to get that. For example, we filmed one on Sunday night, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fascinating, but to be honest, he was quite shy and timid.
Yeah, quite timid.
He was quite nervous.
Yeah,
I felt.
Yeah, and he did sort of keep his distance behind a tree, really, and he was sort of using that tree really as a bit of protection, I think.
Yeah, a bit weird, and he didn't like the spirit box, did he?
No,
he went.
No.
So, all right, Biff's telling me where the names come from. The Laughing Man, he's an alien from the planet Lanulas. He was referenced a few times in the Hellier series. I've never seen that, Biff. I know I'm bad. But please make comment. What do you watch on the TV, paranormal wise? Tell us what you watch and what you enjoy or what you don't enjoy, and tell us what series you watch on YouTube as well. Now, tell us that and then we'll talk about it because we're still 20 minutes yet. Because we mentioned the Parameet, we mentioned the nights next week, we mentioned the adverts.
Yeah.
What do you like to watch, Jane? Do you watch any of the TV shows?
Well, I don't. As you know, I don't watch an awful lot of telly, but I do watch. I watch a lot of stuff on Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
I do watch some of the GPN stuff. I don't really watch a lot of telly. I don't watch the news. I don't watch it. You know, it's just rubbish.
Okay. We've got some comments in. Chris says, what is your view on infrasound and environmental factors that create an ostensibly paranormal experience? What safeguards would you put in place on an investigation? I watched Ghost Quest. They're awesome. I watched Ghost Quest. Infrasound's interesting because we do actually have a device that picks up on ultrasound, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't have one up here. We have a device that picks up on ultrasound. We've not used it a lot yet, but we intend to.
But we don't really do a lot of safeguarding, do we, with anything?
We never use any protection because we want to experience the full experience. This is where, talking from me personally, this is where my trust in Jane comes in. If Jane can't, if we come across something that Jane can't handle, we will back off.
Run.
But we haven't come across anything that we can't handle yet.
Not yet. No.
But I do like Ghost Quest. I've watched that. Andrea says I like the Dead Files.
You see, I like things to be as natural as possible. So even if there is outside noise or pollution or any sort of environmental sort of factors, the more natural and the more free flowing sort of it is, that's what I prefer, because the energy flows anyway. And I personally don't like to try and restrict anything or stop anything or shut anything out or try and restrict any activity that we're going to get or anything like that. So I prefer to work as naturally as possible with all the energies that are there.
Yeah, it's one like Zach Bagans and Ghost Hunters. Yeah, I used to watch Zach Bagans Ghost Adventures when it started. I don't tend to watch it now, and Ghost Hunters were good. I think all TV series tended to start off better.
Yeah.
And Andrina says YouTube to investigate. To investigate are now on Ghost Planet Network as well, so that's good. Biff says no TV. I don't watch a lot of the TV series, to be honest.
No, I don't, and I do a lot of reading. I do tend to do a lot of reading.
I do watch some YouTube videos, and to be honest, there's some okay ones. There's some really good ones, but by Jove, there's some really bad ones.
Yeah, we have seen some of them.
Yeah, there's some really bad ones.
If you watched a lot of the bad ones, you know exactly how you don't want your videos to look.
Yeah. Francis, have you ever heard of Annabelle? Yes, Annabelle the doll from. Yeah, we know about Annabelle the doll. I would like to get my hands on the Annabelle doll.
Yeah, you see, the Annabelle doll, she's been put in a cabinet, hasn't she, for quite a long time, and it was all on the sort of say so of people, and I don't like it when people sort of say, well, it's got to go in a cabinet, nobody can work with it because it's far too dangerous and stuff like that, you know. Oh, it's far too, it's demonic and all this stuff, and it's that bad that nobody can do any work with it. Well, you know, just one person say so isn't good enough for me. I want to work with it myself. I want to find out and reach my own conclusions as to what's there and what's going on. So, you know, I mean, we've seen it quite a bit recently as well, where people say, oh, I've got the most haunted doll in the UK and stuff like that, and nobody else can work with it because it's so bad. And, you know, so how do they quantify the how evil or how much activity surrounds that doll? How do they quantify that to make it the most haunted doll in the UK? I just
to me, it's either haunted or it's not.
You just can't quantify it, and it's like the most haunted building as well. How do you quantify that you've got the most haunted building in the UK? You know, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, this is an interesting comment from Chris. What do you think makes a good TV show? I think showing even nil results is good. What do you think makes a good TV show, Jane?
For me personally, now I like it to be informative, educational. I like to learn something from it. I like it to sort of, you know, I'd like it to sort of give me that bit of a wow factor from the evidence and the knowledge that's coming forward from it. You know, I do like now that some of the shows are starting to get historians in and actually giving, you know, that sort of credible history to it. I like that, and where I can learn things, and they're showing this evidence. I do like that.
Yeah. But I agree with you, Chris. Even if nothing happens, show it.
Keep it real.
That's what sometimes happens. You know, I think what would make a good TV show would be a TV show that appeals to paranormal investigators, like people who are interested in the paranormal, who go out and do it most weekends, but also appeals to the general public who don't know what it's like to sit for 5 hours in a cold, damp cellar getting bored out your brain.
Or a dusty old attic,
Or, yeah.
It's not always as glamorous as it's made out to be.
So I think that would, and plus to make it not dramatic and
See, the
have
spirit
different.
world is really quite simple, isn't it?
Yeah, I see things in a simple way. I must admit. But a good series would be, and we'll have different elements to it as well. That's what I think. But be true. Anne says, Parameet North, what about doing a Demon Connections on the Saturday event? Possibly. Siobhan says, I fully respect the paranormal people and what you guys do. Thank you, Siobhan. Yeah.
Thank you.
Biff says, 401 Files. 401 Files is also on GPN, Biff. This is what he likes. Shiver, Exploring with Josh, if it's paranormal. Project Fear, anything Bigfoot. Okay. And it says, if nothing happens, but you get the history from it, it's just as good. Yeah, I think a good TV show would be different elements involved as well.
Yeah.
But like everyone's saying, if nothing happens, nothing happens. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
However, TV production companies don't want that, do they?
I would really find it refreshing if we actually, challenged, if there was a show that would actually challenge some of these things that we're continually told about, a lot of the stuff that's just handed down, and you watch some of the investigations and it's just the same old stuff, isn't it? People walking around with equipment or their theories or whatever, and it's usually the same theory because that's what they've been told. And
yeah,
I would like to see something that sort of that challenges sort of the normal myths and stuff about paranormal investigating that we're just told.
Sean says, I've seen ghosts. Does this mean I have the gift?
If you can see them, that's fine. I mean, sometimes they can just materialize in front of you, and whether you do something with that, it's totally down to you. You have free will. But in a lot of cases, ghosts can just materialize in front of people. Perhaps they're bringing you a message. Maybe they're just returning to an old place that they really liked to be. And if you feel that you've got the gift, then you really do need to work with it. Go and sit in a circle. Go and develop it as much as you can, and just see which path what path it takes you down.
Mm. Anne says, good TV show, helping spirit rather than try and move them on.
But I don't know if a lot of spirits need help or moving on, because they're just I can see, some of them do perhaps need moving on, but I'm not. Do they need?
I think if the spirits of an old lady, for example, who lived in that house for 50 odd years and she just wants to spend eternity there, I don't think it's right moving her on. If she's not hurting anybody.
No, but it also depends how people move them on, because I find, yes, you can sort of move them on if you want, but really they sort of have free will as well, and if they want to return there, they will. It's sometimes it's just a sticking plaster. Sometimes they'll move on permanently. Sometimes they just don't want to, and they just want to stay in the house that they've lived in for years and years and years.
Me, I want to haunt people. Everyone that's double-crossed me in my life, I'm coming for you.
You see, I think whenever you work with a ghost or a spirit, and to me, they're both the same. There's no difference between a ghost and a spirit. It's exactly the same thing. It's an energy. It's an energy that's sort of part of the spirit world. And I know some people think there is different definitions between ghosts and spirits, that ghosts can be just like a memory. Then that's taking you back to sort of residual energy and the stone tape theory. And I don't believe in any of that, because I just don't think it's just not something that I've experienced. And I just don't think it's, I just don't think it's real. The stone tape theory came from a play in 1972, a BBC Christmas thriller, and since then people think it's actually a real thing, and it isn't.
Quite a few comments will suddenly come in. Cliff says some ghosts can appear as people then vanish. Biff says, you see, I've always been into human interaction. I've watched Most Haunted for the way they interacted, not the alleged paranormal activity. Same on a ghost hunt. Good times with good people. Yeah. Ant says, no, not helping move on. Help them comfortable with new surroundings and people. Janet says, me too. Mark says, I love to wander about and have my own personal feelings, be that spirit or maybe my imagination. But I do seem to get more from touch, and I know a place where the spirit doesn't want moving on, and it's creating a problem for it. Sorry for the long post. That's fine. Siobhan says, sorry, forgot to ask what are your names. I'm Neil and this is Jane. We work at the London Antiques Centre.
I'm Brian and so is my wife.
That's showing your age, isn't it? Chris says, what problems do you face when presenting evidence and how do you overcome those problems? For example, ITC is not on itself evidential, nor wouldn't all pictures. Do people cherry pick what they think is real? Do you think TV shows dictate paranormal working practices? Do you see trends emerging on spontaneous case research cases as a result of shows like Most Haunted? Okay, then. To be honest, we don't really present our evidence. We just do what we do, don't we? And make it into a video and put onto the GPN. That's what we do. If you present evidence, you got to be so careful because someone will shoot you down. It could be the best picture in the world, but someone will have a go at you.
Yeah.
So I think just be careful, especially on Facebook. I have to be on it because of the business, but I hate Facebook. There's so many negative people around in the paranormal field, probably in every field, but there seems to be a lot in the paranormal field who just want to
have a
go and cause drama. So we don't tend to show our evidence.
But we do have a lot of stuff that we have, my books, my drawings. I do a lot of drawings of spirit. Of the spirit that I can see, and that's how I sort of show the team of who we're working with. I've also the demon connections as well. Every time we do a demon, that's all recorded what's happened, and it will go into a book. We don't feel that we have to, even if we find something pretty fantastic, we don't feel that we have to display it and show it to the world. Like Neil said, there's always going to be somebody there that will criticize that. But I always see it from, they don't necessarily understand what we've done because they're only seeing it from their level of perception. And some of the stuff we do is not for everybody. And, it's our own personal journey. And we're quite welcome to show it. We're quite happy to show it to people if they want to see it. But we're not going to bombard the world with a lot of our findings and a lot of our stuff because in some cases they're just not ready for some of the stuff that we do.
There are some teams who love getting their pictures or some rubbish in the papers and sort of think, we're not interested in that, to be honest.
Yeah, and we don't have anything to prove, do we?
No. As for ITC and orbs, I think we don't dismiss anything because I don't know if ITC works. Perhaps spirit's pure energy. Why can't they affect ITC? I don't know. I think people who dispel all orbs are giving way to a lot of good pictures because we don't know.
There's only one thing else to say about orbs. I do believe in orbs. I think there is a small percentage that are spirit traveling just as a light. And the reason why I say that is because I feel that I have actually done that myself. Anybody who's read my article on going into the mirror, I was actually I couldn't actually go into the mirror straight away, but I had to go up and get some protection from the angels. And what they did was they made my light brighter for me to travel. So it's my belief that I was traveling as an orb. And like I say, that was purely my experience. That's what I believe. I know a lot of people won't believe it or won't be able to understand it, but that was my experience that I went through. So, orbs, yeah.
Don't disregard them all.
No.
I think you mentioned about TV shows. I do think some TV shows are bad for the paranormal. I think they show it in the wrong light, but that's just my opinion. Do you think? I think this is Chris again, or whoever. Sorry, the name's gone. Do you think that clickbait investigating? I think we know who they are. I've damaged cottage industry paranormal investigating. I hate clickbait. Clickbait is awful on YouTube. I know, because they always say, big thing at the minute is there's a demon. There's a demon in this house. So you watch it, think it's going to be something exciting, and there's absolutely nothing there. Absolutely nothing. They've got to get away. We do the demon connection, so we chat to demons. So as straight away, if someone mentions a demon, I think no, you don't actually know what they are. A lot of people, some people do, obviously. Cliff says, so yeah, I think clickbait is damaging the paranormal. I'm rushing a bit because we've only got a few minutes left. Cliff says a lot of people do not know there are good demons as well as bad. With the demon connections, we've done 30. We've done 30 now, and we've not come across a bad one yet. And if you actually research information about demons, which is in the public domain, there's some nice. The demons are really nice.
Some demons that will make people fall in love. They'll
they're not so nice.
They'll teach you things about astronomy and geometry and all sorts of stuff like that. So yeah, they're not bad. We haven't come across a bad one yet.
I just think take religion out of it, take Hollywood out of it, and the TV, some of the TV shows, take them out of it, and make your own mind up. I think this is an interesting comment. And it says, you're so right. People shoot it down. The way you do it is good because you can document a lot of people coming up with the same information by themselves with no cohesion in one location for years at a time. Yeah, we are very lucky to have the centre because we document everything that we do. We document names and things that people tell us. So we're very lucky. Biff says, I think perspective is important. Doing the development circle with Eugene has definitely opened my mind to what is possible. So you going through the mirror feels more believable. Same with the demon files. If you're concerned about demons and things, I suggest, I know it's our show, I suggest you watch the demon files that are on GPN. We don't fake anything. What if they don't want to talk to us? They don't. It's a short show. But some of the information and the latest ones, they're giving us even more information because I think they are trusting us now as to our intent. The first few were a bit sheepish.
Yeah. And anybody that's not familiar with the demon files, what we're doing is we're looking at the 72 demons in the Lesser Key of Solomon. So basically the format is that we will invite the demon in. We will sort of share information that's out there in the public domain, and then we will have our sort of investigation with that demon, and then we will document our own sort of evidence as to what, and our own experience as to what happened. So it has been really very interesting, hasn't it? We've done 30 demons so far out of the 72. We've been doing it now for about 2.5 years, probably a bit longer, not sure.
Straight after the lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah. So there's plenty more demons to come. And how many demon connections have you got on GPN now?
I think it's 11 or 12 I'll put on.
Yeah, so there's plenty more demons to come in there. So it's well worth a watch because it will change your perspective, of what you've been told for the last, what we've all been told for the last 400 or 500 years about demons.
Gary says, I've seen orbs with the naked eye, not just through the camera. Also, Neil, you had your camera go off in the sense room. It was an orb. It actually came out of the wall, then faded away. Siobhan says, when are you guys on air again? We'll probably be on again next Tuesday, 8 o'clock as normal. We've had some gaps because we've been so busy. But if you, to anyone, Siobhan, if you want to watch the work that we do, go to Ghost Planet Network. It's on all mobile devices and on Roku TV. And you can watch our shows, plus you can watch other people's shows on there. There's come up to 200 shows on there now.
Wow, you have been busy.
Been a busy boy. These shows will probably eventually go on there. We will eventually do our lives on GPN as well.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we are doing the Demons of Lou Dunn as a live special on GPN on October the 29th. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and we've got a few guests for that one, haven't we?
We've got a few guests for that one.
So some people will be joining us. The original idea that we have the same 4 people in the same room when we do this. I mean, we have changed rooms a little bit sometimes because that seems, and we have been out to the woods as well if it's a demon that's sort of an outdoor demon sort of thing. We're also going to be doing a demon soon that is a daytime demon. So we're going to be doing him Saturday morning. It's coming up soon.
So yeah, Siobhan, to answer your question, we are on next Tuesday. Mark says the spirit I mentioned earlier is apparently evil, but he's not. He just wants to be left alone. It does frustrate me. Yeah, I to be honest, it annoys me when people go into locations and it's all evil, it's all bad, but in my experience, it's not. I've only been to one location, perhaps 2, that have really tested us, but it annoys me. And it says I've got to get the Roku stick. I'm missing the Demon Files. You can watch it on your computer or your mobile phone now, Annette. They are on GPN, and it's on the website is on the mobile phone, so you can catch up. And the website to watch it is www.ghostplanetnetwork.com, and they are all there. Well, not all the Demon Files aren't there because it takes time to.
Yeah,
because we did them live.
Before Neil does put the content onto GPN, he does vet it as well. So you're not going to get a load of sort of crazy, fake, false stuff going on because he won't put that on.
No.
It's got to be genuine, sort of interest in investigating in order for it to pass the quality standard to go onto GPN.
Yeah, Cliff says once they know they can trust you, they connect more with you as a team. Definitely.
Well, isn't that same as a person?
Yeah.
As you get to know a person and they trust you more, they do open up and they do communicate with you better.
Yeah. Biff says, see you next Wednesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Don't know what I'm doing Wednesday. Oh, are you coming up with Haunted Live, does that mean?
Oh, cool.
Then it says development circle. Please, 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 Jane. Biff.
Yes, we'll have to look at getting that up and running again. Because at the minute I'm doing. I have got a course going on at the moment, and we'll have to look at it because I might look at doing it maybe sort of earlier on a Saturday morning up at the centre before the centre opens.
Okay. Annette says, these days we see the demons are flesh and blood. What's fascinated me about the demons that we've talked to is they've all got their own personality.
Yeah.
They are all different, and they're, to be honest, the ancient spirits. And there's no different to people. You know, the one Sunday night was shy and timid.
Yeah, he was quite cautious, wasn't he?
And he was hiding sort of behind a big tree because we went down the woods. But the information, you got to watch it. I've not put it on GPN yet, but you've got to watch this one because it was fascinating who he is.
Yeah.
But watch it. I'm not saying any more. And says plus Fire Stick via the internet. Yeah, if you got Amazon Fire Stick, you can watch GPN as well. Just download the internet app and you can get GPN there. And it said, I'd really be interested in joining a development circle. And Mark says, just like humans.
Yeah.
The last thing tonight, because we're on overtime now, you get more than your money's worth now. The last thing, I did a talk in Cornwall earlier this year, wasn't it? And I thought, yeah, I'm going to talk about the demon connections. This one woman in particular thought it was so bad that we talk to demons. And she made a comment like something like, well, she's done investigations and come across something evil. If it's not a demon, what is it? And you just think, well, what's more evil than Jimmy Savile or Hitler or...
Human nature can be very, very evil. It's, it's in our... unfortunately, it is in our nature where we can be really cruel, really nasty, really, really evil, and we can do such harm to people when we're living, with wars, with we murder each other and all that sort of thing. Jeffrey Dahmer, what could be more evil than him? There is human characters that are so evil that when they pass on and they're still out there in the spirit world, and if you encounter them, it doesn't have to be a demon, it could just be a pure evil human being.
And that says they have been made to be the bogeyman from religion to take away what they are doing. Exactly, and it's exactly what we think. And they are upset by the reputation they've got, aren't they?
Yeah. The
vast majority, when we ask the question, they are upset by that reputation because they don't deserve that reputation.
But that's religion for you, isn't it? If you take religion out of the paranormal, where you're just working with the spirit world in its true form, then working in the paranormal is just so much more interesting.
Okay, Biff says, overtime, does that mean Jane gets more holiday? More holidays?
I'm actually on holiday next week. I'm taking the grandkids. It's half term, isn't it? It's half term.
Oh. So we won't be doing a show next Tuesday. Off again.
Oh, we can. I can join you from wherever I am.
Okay.
Cleethorpes. It's only Cleethorpes.
Well, I ain't coming up here on my own.
You're the
stop
boss.
That. And it says, as in life, as in death, the personality does not change. Yeah. There's nothing more evil than some people, let's face it. Anyone who assaults children or babies, words fail me. They are more evil than any demon. Biff says religion is in control. Demons are the teachers for good. Exactly, Biff. You watch the Demon Connections. The demons are teaching us so much, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I've said before, the Demon Connections is the most important thing that I do in the paranormal field now.
And it's been the most enlightening and the most educational, isn't it?
Yeah. And the Demon Connections is one of the reasons I started GPN, because I think more people need to see it, because I think it's important. And I think the sooner the vast majority of people see the demons for what they really are, the better.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And that's why you started GPN as well, wasn't it? Yeah. Because people, even we sent this show off to a few sort of people, and they rejected it, and it was a bit too controversial working with demons like we did, and that's why Neil started his own channel.
Yep. Cliff says, plus demons have a sense of humour. Yes, they do. Honestly, they seriously do. Some just make us laugh.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I would sooner sit in a room full of demons than sit in a room full of the Fae. That's all I can say, because they can be nasty and mischievous, can't they?
Yes, and they don't take any prisoners.
And it says that's their punishment, left to roam around and go mad. Mark says, Lauren Jones, you have a list. Anyway, we're going to go now because Jane will want paying soon.
What's that?
10
biscuits, stop from pay.
So thanks very much for watching, everybody. It's been great chatting. Please book your tickets to the Parameet. Cliff says, our team have had some right belly laughs at what we have recorded. Demons are fantastic. In my opinion, demons are fantastic. Is that what do you agree, Jane?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I believe, sometimes spirit lie to you, don't they?
Yeah.
Because that's human nature.
A lot of people have this belief, because this is what they've been told, that a lot of demons will appear as a child to try and fool them. We've not come across that once in the 30 demons that we've done. I don't believe that really is a scenario, because, well, it's just something that people are told and people believe it, and then they tell other people and they tell other people. And this is how it all spreads. And, until I actually see a demon describing itself as a child to try and fool me, then
they just don't do it.
No.
They don't do it.
It doesn't.
Biff says, pay Neil. Neil just swore. Yeah, sorry. I am going to have a swear box up here one day next year, and poor Amy's going to have to take her loan out. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you again next week. And get your tickets to Parameet, all 3 of them.
Bye for now.